the YouTube link.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, that's good to so that everybody can consent. I think that is how the data regulations require us to do.
Yeah.
So we'll proceed now that everybody is happy with their presence and the recording being done. So our discussion for today is funding opportunities for collaborative research, and the presenter. And I must recognize that I'm doing this at the invitation of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technologies Research Office. So thank you very much, Dr. Kinyoro. Very timely thing for us to do. As researchers based in the continent of Africa. And I'm happy that we have quite a number of universities from different countries represented today. And I really feel that probably by the end of this session, the next 1.5 hours, we should be able to identify partners, identify calls that we can work on as teams. And my presentation today, I'll give you, I have a PowerPoint presentation, generally on the collaboration space and different aspects of it. Then we look at live borrow from opportunities or grant calls that have passed already, and we try to borrow from them and see what some institutions did, and so that we can also be able to position ourselves to take advantage of whatever calls are coming our way. Then we'll go to that will be get from a platform we learn called the FADSB platform. And then we'll also look at a platform that has been developed that helps you secure partners from across the globe, mainly in Europe, but it is a global platform. And we see how we can be able to use that to remove or reduce this problem of, I have a good call, but I don't have partners in Europe or in the US or somewhere else. And then, like Dr. Ari has said, we'll have sessions. And what I expect from these sessions is we'll be able to look at specific opportunities. And then we can identify out of those opportunities what is required of us as researchers. What kind of collaborations can we come up with or are expected we develop from there, to tackle those kind of opportunities. And then we have a good discussion and hope that we pick it up from there and go and do research. So I start by trying to define what is collaboration. And I picked from the Cambridge Dictionary, the word collaboration or the term collaboration is defined as the situation of two or more people working together to create or achieve the same thing. And more closer home to research, this from Katz and Martins, they define collaborative research or collaboration in research as the working together of researchers to achieve the common goal of producing new knowledge. Okay, so we are very familiar with this. I don't know whether it's lady or gentleman, but it's a very familiar face or picture in our minds. We know how it has, COVID has lavished everything across the globe. And this actually calls, these are kind of challenges that researchers need to come together from across the globe to tackle, these kind of problems. And it's not just COVID. A lot of global challenges are facing the world right now, from climate change, lot of them. And so these kind of problems demand for global approach. So we need collaborations to be able to face these kind of problems. And so we are left in a position where, as African researchers, we must work with everybody else, both here and internationally. So, and the case for Africa is quite unique because we are the most underfunded continent in terms of R&D in the globe. So we are relying a lot from international organizations, international governments. And since this money is coming from elsewhere, we find in a position where we must work with other people. So the same thing, research funding landscape is becoming more complex, as we have seen. Very complex problems demanding for complex solutions. And like I said, our governments are still not funding research adequately. And before I leave that point, I think it's the high time we did a lot of lobbying to have to have more money being allocated to our institutions, our researchers. So why collaborate? One, funders' emphasis. Like I said, global problems requiring global solutions. The funders want to see more value from the investments they're putting. Remember, the money we get is either coming from taxpayers elsewhere or from what they are advocating or they are investing in. And of course, with collaborations, we can achieve more with less. You get an opportunity to work with very talented or very experienced mentors. You are able to get equipment that your institutions ordinarily does not have. You get the best expertise because collaborations bring together teams with different aspects of, achievements. So you're able to get these within one area of collaboration. Then it's fun. You're meeting new people, new experiences, new ideas, new friends. And then it has been proven that with the publications coming from collaborative projects, they are receiving more citations. And this is also very good for early career researchers. They start their career on a very good footing from the friendship and partnership that come from these kind of collaborations. So as I look at what types of collaborations we can look at, I want to say that there is more to talk about collaborations than just what I'm touching, because I'm actually touching on the my area of specialization, or what we specialize in more, is not about how collaborations come about and how they are executed and to make them work, but more in the area of research funding. But this is a very general topics and I think it's key things that everybody who is planning to participate in collaborative research must know. So we are talking of collaborations between researchers from the same settings, working within your own faculties to develop collaborative projects. You could be from different settings, somebody from academia, somebody else from the government or private industry, and then across geographical locations like between Africa and Europe. But in between those three, there are a lot of things because we talk of multidisciplinarity, a lot of collaboration projects we see requiring input from different disciplines. Some will require to have an aspect of PhD students in the same project, despite that the PI is a professor or is a senior researcher. Those are different level of researchers working on the same project. And as you'll be able to see, different funding agencies come with different demands. And these has to be, it's their money. And so the keywords or the words that we must note here are individuals, because they have a role to play. We have opportunities that will require individuals to work with individuals, be able to share one or two of those type of project of opportunities. Some will require different disciplines to work together. Some will require different institutions in different geographic regions to work together. Some will say specifically which countries the participants might need to come from. Some will be open for anybody across the globe. Some will be, say, you must have a Norwegian partner, but you can, the the core PIs can come from a specific region or from anywhere else across the globe. So every call will have its own demands depending on what the funders wants to, to their priority. So, and also I noted that collaborations can occur at any research stage. And this also sometimes is very well defined by the researcher or the grant maker, what they really want, and they'll give you the leeway sometimes to come up with partners depending on, at any stage. But definitely every call has to go by what the funder expects or has clearly stipulated. And but in terms of collaboration, you may find that you have a different partner to help you in do the evaluation or monitoring or an evaluation. You have a different communication partner. You having what do you call you're having different partners helping you with developing the concept and developing the proposal, all that. But it's good to note that the collaboration can occur at any stage. So I also noted it's important to talk about the dynamics, because a lot of collaborations I've noted from what I've been looking at, the literature I've been looking at, they work only because they are made to work. There are challenges that the PI and the entire team must work to overcome. There are approaches to credit and responsibility sharing. Some people have differences on that. Collaborators who have issues with sharing their ideas or data, disagreements over when to publish or how to handle the intellectual property. Some collaborators will underperform, others expect things to move so fast. So there has to be a way that as a team, you agree to work. And I think this is a topic on its own that can take probably a day or two to be covered, but it's good that we all understand our role and what it is expected of us to do to make the kind of teams or projects we participate in to work. And That's in differences in standards of proof. Then we have differences in research style or culture. For example, different industries may have different culture in terms of how they approach research. So as I finish on that, now I think this is very, very familiar also. We all at some point align ourselves to specific SDGs. Like for example, for us, it's SDG 17, helping you partnerships or partnerships for the goals, making sure that this kind of partnerships that are required to help achieve all these goals, we play a role in that. And that's one of the ways we are doing it is like making this presentation today. So nobody needs to be left behind. And for that reason, researchers in Africa must be prepared to identify the calls that are available for them at any given time and be ready to do what they need to do to be part of the winning teams, because you cannot just do your projects alone. You cannot say our teams will come only from this region. What we are seeing, or the emphasis now, is on global participation in collaboration. So I want to specifically touch on SDG 17, which one of the things that it talks about is to strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. This talks of support for global south to enhance technology and capacity building in STEM. This is enhanced north, south, 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 and triangular regional international cooperation on and access to science, technology, and innovation, and enhanced knowledge sharing on mutual agreed terms. Yeah, the thing that is coming out from SDG 17 is there are a lot of opportunities coming that are being made available for Africa. And what we need to do as researchers is to make sure we are ready to, identify and take advantage of these calls. And the kind of grant makers, or the kind of call that we're seeing, we are getting them from the government agencies, a lot of them, private and charitable foundations, the industry, and international organizations. But this is just a very small list. As you'll be able to see, there are so many grant calls that are available for us. So something also very important to mention about the funding landscape, because all of us belong to some area of research. And it's very, very important to identify what is happening with regard to funding in your area of research. Like most funding agencies announce calls once or twice a year. Very important to note the funding cycle of the funders of interest in your area of research. We have a few exemptions, like NIH or UKRI, and these keep announcing calls all the time. So you have to keep going back to check whether there are any new calls that have been announced relevant to what you're looking for. But by and large, a lot of funding agencies, either they make them in March, they'll make them in around August, or a specific time in the year. One needs to understand the funding cycle of the target funder. You'll not be able to follow all the funding agencies in this order. So you've got to zero in on a few and understand their funding cycle, like I've said. And I've also mentioned you need to have a general funding awareness that aligns to your area of interest. Understand which funders and when. And then calls are normally very competitive. All calls are competitive, not unless the one that you had picked to do it because probably the funder understands your strength or you've worked with them before. if you are starting out, you need to have a large pool of funders to target. And then we have to appreciate that only a little portion of funding is targeted directly for Africa. But the good thing is this small portion is hundreds of millions of dollars for a take. And then every funding call has a story behind it. What I encourage is before you start working on any call, understand the logic, understand why the funder in the first place thinks that it's worth doing that, that call. And then look at what has been funded in the past. Probably you will see what and where your strengths and weaknesses fit in what the funder expects, or that gives you a very good idea of how you need to write the proposal. Yes, so I have finished my presentation on the PowerPoint presentation, and I'll share a couple of calls on FATSB platform. And probably I'll also take you through some bit of, I've told you about the CIRA platform. We see how, despite the fact that we are not familiar with what else can we do to see, to meet those partners that we can work with. And then I'll also come back to these and share some of these calls and see how this goes. So I actually can start here, some collaborative grants, for individuals. I talked that, there are individuals, there are institutions, we can have collaborations between disciplines and across countries. And what I want to actually start on is okay. Yes. This is an example of a call meant for individuals working together. And the funder here is the African Studies Center. And I'm taking this straight from Research Bahrain. And if you go through what is required, and with regard to eligibility, proposals must include co-investigators from both the University of Michigan and partner African institution or institutions. Projects with co-investigators from any country in Africa are welcome. And I want to move further and go straight to the call itself, where the call page of where the call was announced. And what you'll be able to see there are the deadline, the amounts involved, and there's more details on what should be addressed. And if you are taking note, this is a very good call that for individuals in different institutions, an individual institution working with different individuals. One of the key partners here has to be based at the University of Michigan. And then any other partner or partners, you've got to be based in an African country. And that is just one. I want to go back to just a second. I make it back to my presentation. Yeah, okay. Sorry for that. Yeah, so I'll want now to go to, because I've seen that this is bringing a bit of confusion. I'll go straight to the FATS platform, and we'll be able to look out at some opportunities that are available there that for collaboration. Then we can come back and try to see some of these opportunities. So allow me to go straight to the platform. Yeah. This platform is called FATS. And if I can start from, yeah, the website is www.fatsbirain.com. That is anytime you get, whether you use our main website, which is researchbirain.com, for you to access the platform, you'll need to come here. You need to log in, but just to mention, I know all of us don't have, may not be able to access the platform right now, because for you to access your institutions needs to have a subscription. So once you are registered, I just wanted to show you that, yeah, your institution has to appear somewhere in this list here. So, but the moment you have an account, that's the only time you're able to access. So I don't can just go straight, and because the main purpose is just to look at the opportunities that are available there. Yeah, so I'll go to available opportunities. Yeah, and from here, what yeah, you can, we have about 300 funding agencies. And this is the search criteria we normally use. You can do it by funder or research area. And I start here by the grant type, because we'll have opportunities for collaborations and partnerships. These are specific opportunities that support institutions to collaborate. And very important, I just pick one of the countries in Africa. Let me pick, I'm based in Kenya. Let me just pick Kenya, so that I don't pick opportunities that are not relevant to my country. Then I want a display of 100. Yeah, from here, now I have 210 opportunities to look at. And just an example, let me pick on this one. It has just a few days to expire, and we look at it. Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa. This call for proposals support the development of multi-stakeholder partnerships that promote demand-driven agricultural research and innovation in East Africa, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. This is just an example of what I said, that some will be very specific on where they want their projects done. And if you look at this opportunity, it has very clear ideas of what, or it is very clear on what you need to do to be part of this. And this is just one opportunity. If I can just go back and pick another one. This is by Swedish Grant Research for Societal Security. The application must be an individual researcher. You can include, I'm just reading the eligibility. You can include up to 6 participating researchers in your application. Participating researchers are other researchers with doctoral or equivalent whose competence with scientific competence will be crucial for the implementation of the planned research. They do not have to be employed by a Swedish higher education institution. Definitely what I read from there is the applicant needs to be based in Sweden, but the applicants don't need, the participants in the research do not need to be based in Sweden. And if you look at the many funding grants that are available, you'll see that
Joseph, you're muted.
my problem, yeah. Sorry for that. I don't know how far I lost you.
Not so long, probably
Okay.
a minute or less.
Okay, so sorry for that. So what I'm trying to say is a lot of major projects, like the big major funders, at any given time will give call that you find some space you can participate in, either as a co-participant or a co-applicant, research participant, or they'll say specifically the applicant must be from an African country. So mostly what we do with the opportunities we include here are opportunities that have a sort of African eligibility. Either you are the PI, you are participating as a partner, or your institution can be included in the implementation of the project. If I can give the example of UKRI funding, we've seen specific projects being directed to Africa, where they say that though you need a partner in UK, the main applicant has to be in Africa. That means the money will be released to the African partner. But if you look at these Novo Nordisk Foundation, most of them will say the African participant can only be a core. You cannot be the main applicant. But what we've noted is that we also have a lot of them that require many countries to take part in the project, in multiple institutions across different countries. And I was looking at a NORAD funding that, yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. This call was announced last year. I remember we had it on the platform, and I was just looking at the results of winners have been announced with whatever they have won. And if you can look at applicant organizations, all of them are, I think, in Norway. Then we have the contact person. They had specified which countries they wanted. They were giving priority to specific countries. Ethiopia was one of them. Then we had Uganda. I can't remember all the countries. Project partners in the global south. You can see the institutions that won. And if I can make this smaller. No. And the kind of money that will be involved for the next 6 years. If you are in this and your country did not participate, I think that becomes quite unfortunate. And it remains unfortunate until we all start participating in these calls. And it starts by identifying, having a plan, identifying, as an individual, as a faculty, or as an institution, what do you want to achieve in the course of the year? And then you empower everybody to work towards that goal. So for us, what we do is we support you with the information, and we'll be happy to share a lot of these calls, because by the end of the day, most of them has expiry dates. So if you don't work within a given time period, then you end up losing. As we go to because I want to finish the presentation, as we go to the breakout sessions, we have identified a few opportunities, and we go to those groups, we try to figure out what is required of the teams that will work to win those proposals or to win those grants. And so I would now want to take a few minutes to talk about, and this is an initiative of, this has been designed by Fraunhofer Institute in Germany, and and the good thing about it, it is meant for anybody who has a project they want to launch and they are looking for partners. And it's just started, I think it's 2 months. It has been there for some time, but a lot of work to the actual working, launching has been the last 2 months, when it has been, accepting registration. And I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot of Horizon Europe calls. You'll be seeing a lot of different projects being launched here. What normally happens is just how it works. I just want to click on how it works. First, it is cyra.acol, and how it works. Finding the right partner isn't easy. Using Cyra is. Just let's go down slowly and see how it happens. You'll need to sign up. Very easy to sign up. Then there are a few things you'll need to identify. Probably I can just sign up, so that we can do it practically. Yeah, so registration is quite simple. Your email, your name, surname, and then terms and conditions, and then your registration is complete. So that the next time you need to do that, you don't need to register, you just log in. I already have an account. So for me, I just need to log in. Okay, no, my interruption. Yeah, you can still hear me?
Yes, we can still hear you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you. I'm trying to.
And Joseph, as you continue, there's a Google form that we've pasted on the chat.
Okay.
We're asking people to just put in the name, their institution, and their areas of specialization, which we will then share the database with everybody who attends today's meeting, so that they can be able to pick who they can also be able to work on collaborative research in future. So kindly just scroll up somewhere at 1250. We put up a link for you to fill in. Just 3 quick questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rin. So this is inside the platform, and the first few things I can be able to see is any opportunity that has been posted or any project that has been posted, collaboration in laser-based technology for green manufacturing, that is Horizon CL4 to twin transition by Volker Franke from Fraunhofer Institute. And then you can be able to read more information about it, who they are looking for, and then their research areas and SDG of interest to them. And that is the second call. This is from Eva Evgenieva from Retat Technology. And then we have one from China. And so, yeah. So if you click on this call, you'll be able to see more information about it. And then there is a way let me just click that so that, yeah, that is the opportunity. You give the general information and the partners, what the partners need to bring in to the project. What are you looking for? And then you submit. So if you need to submit a proposal, you'll give a response to these, to this request for partner. Yeah, so submit proposal. Let me just click on that, and then you can see what is suggested. You just give a general idea of what you expect to do for the project, and then somebody can be able to get in touch. They can analyze what you want to add to their project, and then they can respond. I actually, okay, yeah, those are opportunities. Proposals, you can also be able to do your own, create an opportunity, and then the same thing will happen. Everybody will be able to see what Joseph project is all about, and then you create a room or a platform for different people to share ideas and work together. I say this is at a very initial stage. I know a lot, you'll be hearing a lot, but the one thing I want everybody who is in this session today to do, we need to register on CIDA and look out for projects and also use it to attract partners to your project. I will not add anything more on that. I have just noted that 1 hour is quite short. I've lashed through a lot of things, and I hope that this has been helpful. So that I don't eat into our time for a breakaway session, I want to take it back to Dr. Kenyoro. In case we have any questions and discussions. Back to you.
Thank you, Joseph, for that very informative session. Yes, sure. 1 hour is really very short. So we just like throw in bullets in. But very importantly, I think you've shown us it's very important that nowadays and moving forward, research is collaborative. And for every call, it has specific collaborative aspects it's looking for. It's probably multidisciplinary, multi-regional, multi-country, multi-institutional. So we must be very careful to watch out for those things. So members, I've not seen so many questions, but I have seen a question before we go to breakout sessions, which we are also going to limit because of time. But I've seen a question. I've seen a question from Jim Minor. What are the opportunities that can also enhance the impact of our research, either in Africa or globally? Are there opportunities, or what? We are always focusing our energy on doing research, which is excellent, but what should we do to enhance impact of our research, either in Africa or globally? I don't know whether, James, you want to comment on that. And then there's a question by Joseph: is Beeline available for individuals, especially if the institution has not subscribed? Maybe you could respond to those two quickly before we can move to breakout rooms.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, thank you. What I've noted is that, okay. Yeah, thank you. So what I've noted is that the reason why I said that you need to understand the story behind every call is because almost all calls has an aspect of what impact do you want to create? Because actually you are helping the funder create the impact that they intend to in the society or in the global perspective. So I've seen a lot of calls want you to, you've got to exactly be very clear on the impact that the project is having. And also we have projects that have an aspect of research and an aspect of what I would call outreach. And so what I would encourage is that we look at the many different funding calls available in our area of research. And then we'll be able to see, because if I'm talking about the opportunities we have on Beeline are about 3,500. So there are quite many, but if you look at the few, for example, if you look at the Horizon Europe calls, aspect of impact, because that is what the funder wants to, that's the outcome they want to have with their money, with their investment. So Beeline is currently not available for individuals, unfortunately. So we are working with institutions at the moment. Yeah. I hope I've answered the two questions.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. I think you've emphasized on the, actually nowadays, some of the research funders are actually looking for projects that have high social impact or community impact. So, and it has to be very clear in the proposal what kind of impact that it's going to have to the society. So I think with time, researchers are now being pushed towards making sure that their research is actually supposed to show impact. But we are learning. We are still learning. Caro from Deje University is saying Deje University is looking for a Kenyan or Tanzanian partner university to carry out an IDRC research on early childhood education. And they can email, they can post their, they can email that. I'm going to post that at the end of, oops, I think I lost that. I'm just going to post that for people in early childhood education. Kindly, you can take that email and get in touch with Deje University, and be sure to work with them. Okay, so we are going to go into breakout rooms, but we're going to do it differently because of time. We are going to have to open about 6 breakout rooms. We are about 40 people. So you're going to pick the breakout session, the breakout room of your interest. We've divided them into 6 broad areas. It's agriculture, food security, and natural resources. It's medical and health, humanities, social sciences and arts, engineering, technology, ICT, etc., pure and applied sciences, business, finance. So calls are multidisciplinary. So feel free to join any area that you feel you can contribute. But when you join into these breakout rooms, the first thing you do is appoint someone who moderates. We are not assigning any moderator. We're assuming we are researchers. We can quickly take a minute to say so and so moderate this room. And then we are going to just note about 4 or 5 hot areas that's, 4 or 5 areas that are really hot in the research and innovation arena currently. Is it COVID, and what aspects of COVID? Is it innovation hubs? What kind of innovation hubs? And what do you think can be quick research focus in those key areas in the broad area? So just for 10 minutes, the breakout rooms will close. So just note them quickly, and then we'll come back into the main room. And then we'll conclude by probably just hearing them out. What are some of the key areas? Of course, in the breakout, once we come back, we'll probably notice some are cutting across, and that will be a great opportunity for us to pick collaborations. Also, feel free to exchange contacts while you go to the rooms. Feel free to exchange email addresses to continue the discussions, even though we are going to circulate the whole list of participants and their email addresses and areas of specialization to everybody who is in today's webinar. So I'm going to open the rooms. The first thing is pick a leader or pick someone to quickly moderate, and then tease out 4 or 5 areas of which are hot currently with the donor community. And then 10 minutes, we'll come back to the main rooms and then we'll hear them. Thank you very much. So
did you say we join any room?
Yes, kindly join any room.
Okay.
Feel free to join any room, and then quickly just tease out key areas which are hot. Members, just click on any room and join. So all breakout sessions are closing in 20 seconds. So we'll all be back into the main room and we can wrap it up very quickly by hearing very fast from what the groups think.
A question, maybe a quick one.
Yes, please go ahead, Primrose.
Can you kindly share with us the slides that have been used today?
Yes, we'll do that. We'll send to all participants. Joseph, we'll get the slides and share them out.
Thank you very much. And it was a pleasure to come along.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate. So members, I think we are all back now. We are all back from the breakout rooms. So we can quickly hear maybe 2 minutes for each group. Quickly hear what are some of the areas I've identified that are really hot. And we can start with agriculture, food, and natural resources.
Yes. Thank you, Dr.
Yes.
The 10 minutes was quite short, I must say. Probably this session will require a bit of more time next time.
Yeah.
But we picked the area of production, post-harvest, and value addition.
Okay.
Yes.
Production, post-harvest, and value addition. So those are key hot areas where donors are really putting resources into.
Yeah, and we actually had, we didn't have a lot of time for different inputs, but I think that was well picked. Yeah.
Okay.
From David, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Health and medical sciences. I think there are not a lot of people who joined that group. Humanities, social sciences, and arts.
Okay, for humanities, we identified several areas. We like a number. So we have, for example, climate change issues. We have countering violent extremism. We have refugees. We have gender, and then we also have sexual and reproductive health rights, and also human rights generally for various groups. So we identified various issues.
Okay. Thank you very much, humanities group and social sciences. What about engineering, technology, ICT?
Thank you very much. What we identified was really, of course, I agree that Temis was really just like on our neck.
Yes.
So, and we didn't see that actually in the beginning, we just saw it running 5 minutes. But what he came up with was support for institution and also kind of a learning curve, more in the online learning. How do you develop technologies to enable really learning online? This is almost a South African setup, because our learning is now shifting from the traditional one, from all the stakeholders. The parents are down there, the community that online is also learning. So it's more about developing technological innovations to enable all people involved in a learning trajectory to really, be learning at different levels, but also learning, also looking at also not learning in school only, but also general learning, the community as well. And then another one was also, we looked at also water and environment, and also support of how to really get optimize, using technology to optimize farming. Looked at those 2 areas mostly.
Thank you very much. Pure and applied sciences was the last group. Let me see if there are, I think we didn't get people going into that group. So we may not have a response, but thank you very much. I think
Business and finance, we had business
oh yes,
and finance.
business and finance, yes, business and finance.
We identified a key area in soft skills training for startups because the people who are present, the participants who are present, expressed the need for solutions in terms of supporting business startups in management and general running of organizations. So I think that was the key one in that session.
Great. Thank you very much. I think those were very good discussions. Next time we'll probably have more time. Yeah, but I think we've been able to pick some of the key areas that people can start collaborations on. If we had more time, we would have shared some calls and we have people in groups to see what they can be able to work on as a team, which would definitely be multidisciplinary. But really, within the short time we had, we probably will not be able to go into that now. But members, I think we really appreciate the responses and your participation. And we hope that this meeting will invoke some collaborations and networkings. I've seen people who have posted their contacts. Dr. Amos Mbugwa from JKUAT, Kenya, is saying he's interested in parasitic NTDs and malaria, diagnostics, implementation research, and he's looking for partners to develop a proposal from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. So his email address is posted there. So kindly, if you're in that area, pick it up and have a discussion. Like I had mentioned, if you're interested, fill in the Google form, put in your email address, and let's circulate that as we circulate the presentation, and let's start forming collaborations. Otherwise, I think from this end, we will want to stop. Joseph, if you have any final words.
Yes, I want to really thank everybody for participating. I know the time was short. We didn't get to know, each other, which are our institutions, our areas of research. But I think it's a very good starting point. So I want to sincerely thank you, Dr. Kinyoro, for organizing this. I think it's a very good dipstick test. So we know what we need to do next time. And for those who have projects that they want to attract partners, I also encourage you, I've shared with you the Saira platform, saira.eco. We can actually start sharing details and then see how we respond. So make sure you register on it. It's free of charge. No, it's not charging anything, just to help you get these partners. And I also want to recognize that I noted that the one that is behind Dominic Reinhardt of Fraunhofer Institute, who are developing the Saira platform. I had invited him, so he was actually with us. And so I also thank you, Dominic, and everybody else who came. Let's get down to doing research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And probably maybe Dominic could say a word and also post the link on the chat. If you can hear me, Dominic. Say maybe 30 seconds, say what the forum, the platform is all about, and probably, is Dominic here or he's dropped out? He probably has dropped out. Okay, but I mean, Joseph, if you could paste the link somewhere on the chat, people could pick it up also.
Yeah, let me do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me do that just now.
As we conclude. So thank you very much. I think these webinars are organized by the Directorate of Research from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology in Kenya, Nairobi, Kenya. And we are very happy that you could join us. In a short time, we had a lot of people registering, and we really appreciate you. And I also appreciate my team who helped me organize this from this end. We have Dr. Rebecca Maina. I can see Dr. Patrick Bindio is with us from the directorate. I can see Juliet Obel, also from the directorate, among others. So thank you very much from the different institutions. I saw Jaust, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University. I saw Denje University. I saw University of Zimbabwe. I saw Meru University. I saw Muranga University, Kenya. I saw Masinde Muliro University also in Kenya. I saw universities from Tanzania and Makerere, people from Makerere. Really a lot of people. Thank you very much. Saroti University, Uganda was also represented. So thank you very much. We want to stop here. Saira.echo has been posted, so kindly you can take that.
Yeah, and that is the email of the person in case you have any. In case you have any problems, you can get in touch with Dominic through that email.
All right.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we want to stop it here. Thank you very much. This recording is available at the JQuat YouTube channel. JQuat, you go to discover JQuat on YouTube. This will be live. It will be, has been live and will remain on our platform. You can revisit and review for future. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon. Thank you.
Bye.